Intrepid viewers, hello, hello. Dr. Lena coming to you from Australia, looking in on the madness that is the US in an election year. So here we go. Normally I would do at this time a thing on April, the whole of April, but I think April's going to be so epic. We're just going to have to keep covering it in bite-sized pieces because, as we know, so much crime, so little time. So we'll keep an eye on it. And here we go. Now, we've had a few things to celebrate. One is Rona McDaniel going on NBC and then not on NBC, and now they'll have to pay a fortune to get rid of her, but she's gone. That's awesome. Eileen Cannon has lost 2 law clerks. Now, those of you, and I know there's a few lawyers out there watching, to lose 1 law clerk in a big case is really disruptive and complicated and makes a lot of work for whoever's following, but to lose two. So we're going to look in on the 11th Circuit. Let me just make a note of that and see what's happening there. But also, John Eastman joins the growing list of ex-Trump lawyers who have lost their law license. So a judge has recommended he be disbarred. Awesome. It's a high-risk zone, I tell you. Representing the Yeti is a high-risk zone. But where do we start with all this? We've got to get to Judge Merchan and his daughter and all that. Oh, I know what I wanted to have a look at. You might have missed this in the madness that passes as news on a daily basis. Remember, 2020, Lafayette Square and racial justice protesters. Remember, they were, people of my age would call it tear gassing. It was some other chemical irritant now because they don't like to use the term tear gas. Now, that matter was settled with the government. I can't even remember what happened, but apparently, from what I'm reading today, it was settled by the government. But the damages for that have not been settled and are going to court. And it's under the name Buchanan versus Trump. So we have to have a look at that, right? Because remember, he forcibly had the square cleared so he could have his Bible holding opportunity. Remember when he held the Bible upside down? And now, of course, we've got the gospel of the grift going on. I'm surprised he can pick up a Bible without it bursting into flames. I really am. But let's have a look. Buchanan versus Trump. This is damages for Lafayette Square 2020. I'm pleased this didn't go away. This is really important. So let's have a look at the damages. And Bill Barr was there, remember? Let's have a look at this. Damages. Come on down. Oh, cards are up the wrong way. We won't take much notice of that. Okay. Oh, the Hierophant's in town. Now, the first one here, this 4 of Pentacles, which is holding on to money, I'm wondering if that's not representing it not being a colossal amount of money that's being sought, right? I think it's quite a reasonable judgment. I don't know more about this case. Let me know in the comments. Is it one person? Is it a class action? But I'm just fascinated that it bumped into my feed today and seeing what happened. But this is holding on to money, I think not being unreasonable. Now, it's specifically against Trump, just in case he was short of another trial. I don't think it'll be a jury trial and all of that, but again, legally, I have no idea. This is a brand new issue for me. But this is the Yeti sitting pretty, if you like he's forgotten 2020. He forgot last Tuesday. it's not on his radar yet. He really hasn't registered it. When it happens, quelle surprise, 8 of Wands, it's going to be really fast. And this card always implies multiple things. Incoming, incoming. What would that be? Yet another court case. Ironically, here we have the church in the foreground, which was him making his religious moment. I think there will be a settlement. I don't think it'll be for an immense amount of money, but it will be important nonetheless with this Page of Pentacles. Okay. All right. Now, the Truth Social shares, and we know they've been bought mainly by MAGA mom and dad investors. Strictly speaking, there's a caveat. He can't sell them, dispose of them, fiddle with them in any way. But the board, and he controls the board, can make a waiver for him to get his little filthy, fetid Yeti paws on their money. So will the board give him a waiver? Will the board give him a waiver? Look, they're unfathomably stupid and self-destructive. So, you know, who knows? Will they let him sell his shares, or at least a portion of his shares? Okay. Ah! Look at this. Look at this. Oh my God. Look. First card out. They are chained to him willingly because they could take the chains off. Okay? But they haven't. So they're willingly chained to him. The Empress, as we know, expands everything. They're talking about it behind the scenes. He'd have his people in the board's ear going, look, this guy's already made you a lot of money. Look, nothing but money, 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 money. The least you can do, just give him a waiver. He could pull out a lazy bill, short for billion, not bill. But even they are a bit confused. I think even they, MAGA files, understand this isn't possibly the best deal they're ever going to get. But I think they're going to do it. 4 of Wands. In other words, he'll come out with money. It will tank. A year from now, they won't be worth the paper they're written on. Not that they're written on paper, but you understand the expression from them. No cure for stupid. What can you say? Now, a couple of days ago, a woman called Marilyn Lands flipped an Alabama seat. It was a House district seat, and it was very clear to anyone who was looking why that was, and it was because of the women's vote. They just don't get it. And let's hope they don't get it between now and November. Let's hope they just keep doing this stuff because... So I want to look at the potential pink wave. How healthy is the pink wave? Let's have a women's vote. Oh, I'm liking this, I think. Okay, so here we go. It starts with the 7 of Wands. So women are feeling they're under assault and having to defend. I'm not that happy with these 2 cards, but we'll see. The Yeti just got this, or MAGA people just got this. Let's just back up for a moment. The 7 of Cups. It's illusion, confusion, delusion, all the illusions, but there are good options and not so good options. I hope it means that women who are unsure, because there's millions and millions of women who are crystal clear on this issue, but some aren't, either because they're Christian and they don't believe in abortion as a religious thing. But you'd be hard pushed to find women in the modern world who don't agree with contraception, So outside of Utah, you'd find it hard. So this is them in the incarnation of the false knight. So they're being told by their leaders, of course you still vote Republican. You are a Republican. You were born a Republican. You must do this, And they're going, oh, not really that comfortable. I think they will manifest and mature into their Queen of Wands energy, female rulership, leadership, clarity, compassion, all the good things, but it'll be driven by young women saying, are you mad? I'm 18, I'm 22, I don't want 12 kids. Are you mad? Right? I want an option on controlling my own body into the future. Thank you. It isn't 1522. Okay. I'm happy about that, but we'll keep our eye on the pink wave. Now, okay, a lot of you have been asking this, and I'm intrigued as well. Trump is, apart from anything else, a Gemini, and not being an astrologer, I do know with every star sign, there's the less evolved version and the more evolved version. Astrologers, please don't write to me, describing the decanates that are relevant for this conversation. Low vibration, any sign, higher vibration, any sign. Which is he in? No prizes for guessing. So he's an unresolved, unworked out, gets bored easily Gemini who's going to be made to sit in a chair 4 days a week and not be in control of the room. And look, how's he going to handle it? How is he actually going to handle it? We all know after every day he's going to come out and blather on and witch hunt and blah, blah, but he's still got to sit there. Let's see how that's going to go down. The Yeti in court. The Yeti in court. Okay. Hmm. Look, I don't think this isn't going to be easy for him on a whole lot of levels. He feels his precious time is being stolen along with the last election and everything else because he's a professional victim. Look what they're taking from me, in this case, time. This is not a card of great mental strength, you could say. I'm being very guarded here. This is literally howling at the moon. In other words, I think he's going to spin. He's going to make more and more unreasonable demands of his legal team. Look, he should be grateful for even having one, but he will be doing that. Part of him actually can't believe it because we're still in advance of this. He hasn't been made to sit down for a week, let alone 4 weeks, let alone 6 weeks. So he's still in la la land. This is the good life. I don't think he's actually registered. I think he's still making demands on his legal team going, I can't sit there every day. Make it happen, God, I hope a judge doesn't cave to this demand. But at the moment, he's sitting pretty. What's going to seriously freak him out is he's going to be deluged in truth and sunlight. Moon, sun. This is his headspace. This is what's going to happen in the courtroom. He's going to be exposed for the absolute nutter that he is. Look at that. Oh my God. All right, now, my beloveds. Judge Mershon, first thing he did was put a gag order on the Yeti. Well, so as we know, what did the Yeti do? Start attacking the judge's daughter. Now, we're left with the conundrum yet again, because the American legal system can't seem to deal with this rogue guy. We all know that there is a jail option, but I don't see it. So what's going to happen with Judge Mershon's daughter? Because legal talk is, by going for her by name 4 times, it actually constitutes stalking in New York. And she only has to say that this behavior gives her a reasonable reason for feeling afraid for her life, and it is a perfectly reasonable fear. So what's our question? Will this translate into a legal action? The stalking of the judge's daughter, what's going to happen with that? Let's just leave it open. What's going to happen with the stalking of the judge's daughter? What's going to happen with that case? Will her father act on the gag? Will she do it independently? What's going to happen? Well, something's going to happen. I'm pleased to report that. You know, kids. It's one thing to go for the person themselves. It's another to even go for your spouse or partner. At least they're, you know, whatever. Not right, but you understand, but this is his kid. Okay. He is at the King of Wands. I think if you knew Judge Mershon well and you had a drink with this man, the fantasies he would be coming up with what he'd like to do to the Yeti. I just got this vision. Like with a drink, and he said, look, the man might not drink. These images are symbolic. But he's fantasizing hard what he'd really like to do. Something will happen with this 8 of Wands, the Justice card. So he will either do something himself, and I suppose he can extend the gag order specifically or reinforce it around his family, or this could go to another judge. This could go to a female judge. It's a possibility. So it could be Judge Mershon, or it could be another judge altogether. I mean, I don't even know what gender Judge Mershon is. I'm assuming it's the father. It might be the mother. Correct me. Okay, but this could be Judge Mershon or another judge. Women are really happy at the end of this. That tells you something. That tells you something. Awesome. Now, guys, I want to remind you, what day is it here? It's Saturday in Australia. It's your Friday, right? Now, I keep forgetting, but every Saturday night at 7 p.m. New York time, I'm live on Hogarth's channel, usually with Lady G as well. It's called Hogarly because Hogarth, Lady G and Lena Hogarly. And I'd love you to join us if you haven't, and if you're already a regular, thanks for coming on. But it's a way for you to have a live chat. And so that's every Saturday night, 7 p.m. New York time. So I'll see you on Hogarth's Astrology. Bye. Take care.